welcome to another episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube and my corner of the general interwebs where I like to talk about knitting and crochet and books I'm reading or listening to, and also TV or movies that I'm watching and enjoying, and other life and general chatty things that I want to share with you. So please settle in. I am so thankful that you chose to watch this video and spend a little bit of your time with me. I hope that you enjoy it. Please get yourself a delicious beverage and get out your yarn, your hook, your needles, or your cross stitch, or your spinning, whatever you want, and let's have a really nice crafty and chatty time. I'm going to start with tea today. I brewed a pot of some Youthberry by Teavanna. My sister bought this and brought it over January or February during one of her visits, and I tried this flavor for the first time yesterday because she also bought another one that I was more excited about, and I'm almost done with that one, and I thought I would try this one this week. And it's really good. It is white tea with notes of wild orange blossoms. And it's got apple, white tea, hibiscus, rose hips, candied mango, candied pineapple, rose petals. And it's really delicious. So I brewed a pot of that. I used 2 tea bags and didn't quite fill the whole pot, but I brewed what I will drink in one day, and here it is. I'm pouring it in a special mug, a special tea mug that is new to me. I ordered it and it came this week. It was on a wish list in my cart on an internet shopping site, and for probably December or January, and I just was like, I don't know if I really need it, and I don't need it. That's the absolute truth. I don't need it. But I kept going back to look at it and thinking about it, and I decided that it was okay for me to order it. Yeah. And I have been enjoying it so much. That Youthberry white tea is really delicious. Yeah. So, crafting. I have 2 big finishes. One is a crafting finish and the other is a reading finish. So let's start with the crafting and the crafting finish. There are 2 completed sleeves, except for weaving in ends. This branches and buds pullover is done. It is completed and ready to wear in the fall. I thought about trying it on for the video today, and it is just too hot. We are in the middle of a heat wave here. Well, a heat wave for us, those people that live like in tropical areas or like really like deserty, scorching hot areas, it is not that level. But for Washington State in the United States, where I live, which generally is a pretty mild, temperate climate, it is super hot for us. And I am not putting it on. Not today. I also started that crochet project that I had gotten things together for, and I am excited to show that to you. Here it is. Yeah, it's a lacy little cotton summer accessory scarf. And it's really fun to do, although it's pretty challenging for me. But the stitches themselves aren't super challenging yet. There is a stitch I'm going to get to in another section that we'll see how that goes. But the stitches themselves are pretty straightforward, but I keep forgetting, like in certain parts you have to just really follow the chart pretty closely, and there's a section where I keep forgetting that it's not always the same. Right here, like you've got these 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here you don't do the same number that you do there and there of the chains, and I keep forgetting that, and I just get in the roll of chain 3, chain 3, chain 3 every time. And then I get to the end, and then I turn and I start working the next row, and I'm like, oh, they aren't all chain 3. Some of them are chain 5. And I'm like, oh, so I have to go back. But anyway, I think it's really, really pretty. I think it is so, so pretty. And it's been fun. It takes concentration. And that's good, because I've needed things to focus on and distract my brain from overthinking a lot of things right now. Because had a really important Zoom meeting on Thursday about just legal and financial things and my future, all of those things together. It was really stressful, hard things to talk about. And yeah, I was really nervous, and I was actually, I was working on the sleeve of this sweater for part of the meeting. I had it in my lap, and a few times I picked it up and would do some stitches just to calm myself. And but the outcome, I think things are going to be, the end of the meeting, everybody, like, we were all on the same page, and it was good ideas, good discussion, and going in a good direction. So I was afraid it could go really bad and just get, but it didn't. It was a good meeting, the outcome of it, and I have some homework to do before the next time. Another meeting like that. But yeah. So I have homework steps I need to do, which is good. I need to have steps to focus on, one thing at a time, and a little bit of homework. That's good. I can put, yeah. So, and the knitting helped me get through the meeting, and I hope it wasn't distracting to anybody else. But it really helped me a lot. So that's the crafting. And books. Let's talk about books. There was a book finish. I finished The 3-Body Problem. And wow. Wow, wow, wow. I gave it a 5-star on my Goodreads. It is like, it's a very unusual alien invasion story. It is not focused on gigantic battles and lots of really intense action after action after action, and no, it's a lot of philosophy, a lot of physics, a lot of really deeply complicated and morally very gray characters that were really well written, and the questions that it asks, it is very like existential, like, and dark, like deep, dark existential questions, like, is humanity even worth trying to save and fight for? Is humanity so deeply flawed that we are just doomed to destroy ourselves and it's pointless, we should just give up? And yeah, it's dark, it's existential, it's philosophical, it is, and there are some action things too. Things really do happen, and there is a pretty amazing, I guess you could call it the climactic point of the book that is really, really well, I don't want to spoil anything, but there is some action too. It's just not like summer blockbuster space battles, explosions everywhere, gunfights all the time, and that kind of thing. Yeah. So I loved it. I definitely am going to continue on. I think there's 3. I don't know if the 3rd one is out. The 3rd one may be coming out. I'm not sure. Don't go by me. Anyway, I definitely want to continue on in this series. Yeah, really good. Also, I am nearly done. I just have about 1/4 left of Pride and Prejudice, and I think the last part is gonna go fast. Yeah, really enjoyed this. I think the next one that I want to read isn't Persuasion, even though that's one I already have. I think I'm going to try to get Northanger Abbey from the library or from somewhere. Because I think that's the one I want to read next. Will I read it like in August next? I don't know. Maybe. Not sure. But yeah, I think the next one I want to read is Northanger Abbey because it just sounds like so much fun, and it sounds very different from Pride and Prejudice. Basically, Northanger Abbey is kind of a satire of the gothic thriller genre, and the main character, I don't know her name, but the main heroine is like obsessed with those books. She's obsessed with gothic thriller books, and yeah, and she reads them all the time, loves them, she's a super fan, and then she ends up moving to Northanger Abbey, and then some strange things she starts noticing and starts feeling like she's living in one of her gothic novels and what is going on. And it sounds super fun. It sounds like so much fun. And anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna check out the library and see if I can get that in the near future, but not exactly sure when. There is another book that I'm planning on starting really, really soon, and there are 2 audiobooks that came available again. I put them off last time because I wanted to finish the 3-Body Problem, but then the library said, oh, here they are again, are you ready now? And I did one of them because they're both novellas. They're not very long. I think they're both, for listening time, I think they're both in the 4-hour range. So one of them I already accepted, and the clock is ticking on that one. But it's only 4 hours. I'm not going to worry too much. And the other one came available like yesterday. I'm going to try and hold off a couple days till I start the clock on that one. Because they give you a few days to make your decision before they're just like, okay, you didn't respond, it's going back. Anyway, that's a novella too, so another short one. So I do definitely have reading plans coming up soon. And maybe tonight I'm gonna start that first audiobook. Yeah. So you will be hearing about that. And those are the books. Now, TV and movies. This week was the finale week of RuPaul's All-Star Drag Race Season 5. And wow, it was a really fun season of Drag Race. It was a really great group of queens competing. They were all really strong competitors. And the finale was just so good. It was so good. The final runway was one of the best RuPaul runways I've ever seen. It was like, whoa, it was so good. And I was rooting, actually, honestly, for all three of the final three. But I was really happy. I would have been happy no matter who won. But I think really that my favorite, it's hard to pick a favorite, but I think the one that won really was my favorite. And it was so nice to see Shea Coulee win. She was excellent all around in everything. She totally deserved it. And she won against a really strong final group. The other two, anybody could have won. I mean, they were all that strong. And yeah, it was so good, so fun. And yeah, just really good. I also started a new series on Netflix. It's been on Netflix for a couple, 3 weeks, but I just had not been ready to start it yet. But it is called Warrior Nun on Netflix, and I have watched 2 episodes, and from what I've heard in some reviews, it gets better in the second half of the season. And the first 2, I'm like, yeah, it's nothing special, but I know that it's gonna get better, so I'm gonna get through the early part and then see how things develop and how much better it gets in the second half. But it's about, well, warrior nuns. Yeah, nuns that are fighting demons that are trying to cross over into our world and do terrible things. So, yep. And it's based on a manga, and it kind of has that feel a bit. I'm not an expert on like fighting and like martial arts and fighting styles and all that stuff. And there hasn't been a lot of that yet. Most of that's going to come later. But yeah, I'm hoping that I end up really liking it a lot. Right now, I'm just like, yeah, it's okay. It's just okay right now, but we'll see. So, how was your week? I hope you're doing well. And I am very curious about how your crafting projects or other creative outlets are going and how you're doing. And did you watch or did you read any Jane Austen this month in Jane Austen July? I'd love to hear about any Jane Austen books or adaptations that you enjoyed this month for Jane Austen July. And I'd love to chat about that with you in the comments. Yeah. So take care and see you next time. Bye bye.